Hello guys, we're back. It's footballing. We're back with another week or session of the Mississippi Bandits. So guys, this season's not going the way I thought it would go. We're struggling. This is the inaugural season, so not too bad. But I'm really excited for the offseason. So I think we may have to skip one of the division games and only play one of them so we can get straight into the offseason. A lot of changes are going to be made. But we're 3-7, so theoretically we could still go 9-7. Based on how we're playing so far, it's probably not going to happen. But I got to keep my expectations high. So we're going to get right into it. And we're going to simulate a few games. Actually, before we do that, got to look at personnel. And we did have quite a few injuries. So Forte is hurt for 3 weeks with a sprained MCL. Garcia's still out with the high ankle sprain. Fuller has a sprained ACL for 4 weeks. Lamb has a hamstring injury. He's out for 3 weeks. Tommy's still getting better from that broken leg, and Becker still has 2 weeks left with his sprained MCL. So, if you look at the front office, go to facilities, there's things that we can do, like a pool room, which affects the progressions, team morale, and injury recovery time. In rehab, we could fix up the trainer's room. We also don't have a spa, a massage room, or a sauna. But you see the number figures for that stuff. 34 million, 17 million, 22 million. That's not peanuts, guys. That's a lot of money. We have 165 million, and we have a ton of guys to re-sign. So I will keep that in mind. But our financial situation isn't great. Right now, we've made 119 million. Ticket sales, merchandise, food and beverage. Probably ain't going to be a playoff bonus for us in the future. And I have no idea what the league share is going to end up being. So we still want to try to figure that out. We're spending $220 million on our players, $20 million on our coaches. The facilities right now are only costing us around $5 million, and we bought the scouting package for $2 million. So right now we're losing $128 million based on our expenses. But we still have games left. Those home games are going to bring in more ticket sales. So that's all going to be things we have to take into account in the offseason. So we're going to go against the Minnesota Pride. They're 7-3. We're 3-7. Let's see if we can get a win. Wow, so we do 28-19. Once again, our defense comes up big, holds them under 20 points. And like I said, this is a 7-3 team. And wow, 21-point burst in the fourth quarter, guys. That is interesting. Benson, 27 of 41, 307, 3 TDs. Don't know if he threw any picks. Let's take a look. Yeah, of course, he had to throw one in there. I'm not too mad at him. Penna comes through with another huge gain. He gets a touchdown. 6.7 yard carry average and 153 yards. Greer had a big game. Dean had a big game. Big games all around by our guys. A rally late in the fourth quarter to get it done. It looks like we had possession. And yeah, look at our defense. Held them to 185 yards. And I'm sure the turnovers we had played into the fact that they even got 19. So, considering our defense held them scoreless in the second and the third, I keep reiterating that our defense is definitely the best aspect of this team. And a lot of those guys might be coming back. It's the offense that we're going to have to work on. But Benson, he's going to keep his starting job after a performance like that. So let's see if that can continue. We got Buffalo up next. So we're on a winning streak now, guys. 27-16 at Buffalo, at Minnesota. These are 2 straight away games. that usually is a bad sign, but for us, we are persevering late in the season. So 16-17, once again, our defense really playing well. Our offense came out hot and did just enough that our defense was able to take them the rest of the way home. We went into the half with a 20-7 lead, and we never relinquished that. Put 7 more in the third, and that was all we needed. In fact, the 20 points would have held up because the defense did such a great job. Benson threw 2 more picks, only 130 yards though, so Dinkin and Duncan. 130 yards, 2 TDs. Of course, he threw the pick. Penna this time didn't do much. Greer, Dean, Turner got involved. Dean and Turner with a touchdown each. This is an interesting game. We don't have a lot of yardage, but we got it done. So, yeah, they had more plays than us. We ended up getting 2 sacks, 1 turnover each. We're rolling now, guys. 4 games left in the season, and we actually have a shot. I thought I was going to be letting backups play, but instead we're going to be trying to see if we can get into the wild card spot. So let's take a look at the standings before we continue. So right now, we're still out of the wild card spot, but we're 5-7, which is, I feel like we're right on the cusp. But Indianapolis is already 9-3, so if they win another game, we're not going to be able to match them. So that's not a good sign. You got the Miami Warriors who are 7-5, and the Iron Hawks who are 7-5. So we're going to need things to go our way. I feel like we're going to have to win out to have a legitimate chance. So let's go ahead and simulate another game. That time we lose. Denver's a really good team, but that's not a huge loss. That's a 4-point loss against a great team. That's our 3rd straight away game. Penna actually has another decent game. Vaughn comes through. 3 tackles, 1 interception, and a sack. But Cannon is one of the best players in the game in terms of quarterbacks. So I'm not really surprised. He puts up 71% completion rate, 269, 2 TDs. We did get a pick from him. They ran the ball efficiently with Holloway. Their big-time receiver had a huge day, so not really surprised by this result, but I'm pretty sure that's going to knock us out of having any shot at playoffs at this point. Yeah, it's really going to be tough. Indianapolis now moves into 1st place. They're on a 4-game winning streak, and the Bombers are on a 2-game losing streak. So that's interesting. Indianapolis is now the best team in our division and showing themselves to be one of the best teams. I would hate for them to win the Access Cup, though. It's just, a bad deal to have the champions in your division. So let's hope for that when playoffs do come around. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit of scouting. I've done it all off screen, but I decided to do a little bit in this episode to kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be looking at. So right now I'm looking at defensive linemen. Probably not going to do that. I'm going to look at some quarterbacks. Chris Briggs being one of them. He looks like he's good around the board, and due to our little winning streak now, we're probably not going to get the 1st pick. Before, that would have been an option, but now we're kind of like in that no man's land where you're not going to get number 1, but you're not going to get... We might be like 6th or 7th or 5th, maybe, 8th. So depending on how we close out the season, we may end up getting a not too bad draft pick, and that could hurt us because Briggs is definitely not going to be available. He's only 5'10", but accuracy is an A. Power, awareness is good. He has the same speed as Benson. So he would be an immediate upgrade. But we'll be able to get him. but we don't know if he's actually as good as advertised. So Chris Briggs is someone we're going to look at. You look at Roman Lewis. He's 5'11", 222, but he's 20 years old. Not as good as Briggs, but at the same time, he's younger, so he has that 1 extra year development. Fitness-wise, he's better. But every other category, except actually, he has better accuracy and throw power. But I do like awareness. I feel like that's the reason why Benson throws as many picks as he does. But I can deal with picks from a 20-year-old. Benson's 28, so that's a big difference. Got Elliott Snyder, 6'2", 233, B+ throw accuracy, A+ power, C awareness. He's slow. He's a pocket passer. Fitness isn't very great. Not agile. Not going to break any tackles. Pocket guy, but I can work with that. The last guy who's projected as an A is Marco Latrell. He's 6'2", 194, 20 years old. Great accuracy. Throw power is definitely not where we want it to be, but he's going to be an accurate player. His awareness is also pretty bad. So I think he's going to be a pass, but I am interested in scouting Briggs, Lewis, and Snyder. But what I like to do is kind of pick different categories and kind of isolate based on that. So you look at the best throw power, it's going to be Justice Jones, Pedro Armstrong, Javon Morales. But then you got to look at, are there any things that are deal breakers? All of these guys have really trash awareness. So despite the throw power, the awareness isn't there, so I'm probably not going to go there for pretty much any of these guys. But maybe one of these guys can be guys that develop. Maybe you grab one of them and then they develop behind Benson, and then you go from there. So that's something as an option. But if you're doing that, obviously you're not going to be picking them high. You're going to be picking them later. So all of that kind of needs to be taken into account. So what we do now is we got 12 points saved up. So you got to be kind of careful. You get 3 points, but once it gets to 3 points, you start losing points. So you got to use it at least every 3 weeks. You want to make sure you're doing your scouting. So what I usually do is you can focus on different things, but I feel like it just clutters up. So I want to set everyone to quarterback. So it's kind of like focus scouting is what I do. Because otherwise this would be full of like 3 different groups of players. So like if you put quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers, you'd have quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers populating this list. And for me, it just feels like too much. So I just want to look at strictly quarterbacks. I want all my scouts to focus on that. So in the Northeast, that's where Chris Briggs is from. So we're going to definitely spend a point to look at him. So now he's a B+. Now that we've got a little bit more information. I'm going to max it out, and now he's still a B+. So not as great as we thought. So I'm trying to think of the other guys. So this is still D-line. I don't want that. So Marco Latrell here. Here's the guy that we were interested in. Actually, no, he wasn't. He wasn't one of the guys. Let me take another quick look. So Roman Lewis and Elliott Snyder is the guy we want to look at. Marco wasn't a guy. But just for the sake of kind of showing this, I will take a look at that. Wow, so Latrell goes all the way down to a C. If I scout him again, he goes to a C+. So, not really surprised there. He didn't look that great to begin with, but now the writing is definitely on the wall. I'm just going to use it on... Actually, you know what? I don't want to waste points. So Roman Lewis, let's scout him. he's still a B plus. And Elliott Snyder. So let's take a look at him as well. He's a B and then a B. So now let's go back and look at these guys with the extra information. So now Chris Briggs, he has A accuracy, A throwing power, B awareness, C speed, D plus fitness. So that gives you a kind of better picture. And I still don't think those are 100% accurate. It still depends on your scouts, I believe. Roman Lewis, he's a B plus. So B plus accuracy, throw power, awareness. So it is important to scout. I know some people think that these are their accurate ratings, but they're not. You get the accurate ratings as you scout. So now we got to go all the way down, and now you see Marco Latrell. You see he's not that great of a player. Still maintains he has the accuracy, but the D plus awareness, that's not something that he's not a great quarterback that's worthy of being picked in the first round. Especially with that throw power. Now there's some of these guys who are low rated who could be diamonds in the rough, you know, a Tom Brady type. But you got to scout to figure that out. Okay, so we're going to get right back into scouting. We're going against the Detroit Firebirds this time. And that is another L. So now we're 5-9. So at this point, we got 2 games left in the season. I want to take this time to put in some young guys. We got some more injuries. So Rogelio Aguilar, probably butchered that, is out for the season with a hamstring injury, and Orlando Craig is also out. Eugene Garcia is still healing up for that high ankle sprain. So we're going to move some things around. Tyson is going to give way to the kid with the accuracy, who's similar to that Latrell guy. So he's going to give way to Jamie Sanders. Wait, am I missing something? Yeah, Jesse Bush. Where is Jesse Bush? Yeah, I'm not seeing Jesse Bush here. So don't know what that's all about. And as far as running back is concerned, I think we're going to keep Pennant in there. Jake Forte, he's a young player. Rudy McCoy's 27, so I'm not going to waste time on him. Daryl Thornton. So yeah, that's not much changes there. I don't really know what's going on with Jesse Bush, though. So he's on the roster, but having a hard time finding him on the depth chart. Yeah, because he has the best accuracy on the team. So if he was there, it would have shown up there. So that's an interesting thing. I'm guessing that's a glitch. But we're going to move on. And we were going to play division games, but I do want to get into the offseason. So we're going to go on and simulate this game as well against Houston. We lose that one as well, 17-21. So another tough game. Last time they beat us 17-23. So we scored the exact same amount of points. And it was another kind of game where we kind of tried to get it back. That's eerily similar to the last game. McKenzie throws for 177, 1 TD, 1 pick. Sanders actually had a decent game, 62%, 241, 2 TDs, and 1 pick. Penna had a decent game with 52 yards, and Dean the 104 with 2 TDs. It's kind of even game there. They out-sacked us, and they turned the ball over less. We just got to turn the ball over less. I feel like that's so crucial. And if you look at like 4-point loss, 10-point loss, 4-point loss, 6-point loss, 4-point loss, 4-point loss. I feel like we're a few plays away, a few turnovers away from being a really good football team. So I'm kind of on the fence. I think I'm going to simulate this game as well. Do my little bit of scouting, and I think that's going to be it for this episode. And then we're going to get right into the offseason after that, guys. So that's going to be really exciting, and we have a lot to do. Let's simulate this last game. 6-10. We do get that win. I don't think it was going to let us actually see the last game. Maybe I'm missing that somewhere. Yeah, I don't think it will. Okay, so anyway, thank you guys. We're going to take a look at all the stats in the next episode. We're going to take a great look at how guys did, our records, the first year, kind of give a deep dive. We're going to look at the whole league. We're going to see who ends up winning the Access Bowl, compare our team to other teams, and then we're going to do a deep dive into the offseason, see who gets better, see how guys progress, take a good look at who we're going to scout, and who we're going to be looking at the target in the draft. So thank you so much if you've been following along. I really appreciate all the views. I really appreciate the likes. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you next time.